Hey, good morning.
Hey, Tom. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Doing
Yeah,
well. Doing well.
that was a good Pat stats. He was right on the money. There was nothing he said that I didn't agree with. It was
Yeah.
he nailed it. I mean, just
Yeah.
freaking nailed it.
Yeah. He did his research. He always does. That's for sure.
Got a cold there or allergies?
No, I just a tickle all of a sudden. I didn't want to sneeze into my microphone. I got another one coming, so I got a mute coming here really quick. Excuse me.
Hey, Sarah.
Hello there. I heard that sneeze in like surround sound.
Well, and I muted it, so you heard it in actual audio.
Oh, gotcha. Funny. Funny. Huh. Anything new and exciting in the mortgage world?
Not yet, but next week might be interesting. So we'll see. I think actually rates pretty much stayed flat. So there's no change yet. I think the markets are kind of holding their breath, see what happens.
Morning, Jacob.
Gotcha. Hello.
You're muted, Jacob.
Good morning.
There you go.
Oh, you got a lamp in the background now, Jacob.
Yeah, I had that lamp. I just moved it from one side of the couch to the other. It's a work in progress. I moved where I keep my cutting boards yesterday. So
Ooh, big moves, Jacob.
Big move.
Big move.
It was too hard to get to for how often I was using it. I was like, this needs to be front and center.
It's the box you can check off. Now it's done.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It feels so much better.
I need a picture behind your couch.
I know. Yeah, that and in my bedroom and a mirror. Once I have those three things, there's not much more to do here.
Alan. Yep.
I'm just so
Cool.
indecisive when it comes to artwork. I'm like, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. I like that too.
But they don't go together. Like,
Yeah.
That's a problem I have. I'm like, oh, styles are colliding.
I just need someone to just pick some stuff out and I'll be like, great,
Same.
I love it.
Mhm.
Same. We're the same way. It's like, let's just not put anything up because we can't decide. So I don't
Right.
think that's a very good option. But
Well,
Yeah.
your office has stuff, Nick. Your office looks
Yeah.
better than mine and Sarah's.
yeah, well, I've been collecting this stuff over, 20
Mm,
years almost. So it's like it goes with you wherever you go.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I see it. I pick it up wherever at the fair, at an art show. I mean, it just depends on something catches your eye. You just grab a piece occasionally. Even, it doesn't have to be expensive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Oh, Carson's connecting.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, I'm actually going to start because I need to bolt
Go
out
for
in
it.
about 10 minutes.
Go for it, Tom.
Let me share my screen really quickly. All right. So over the last 2 weeks, rates have gone completely sideways. We've had virtually no change in rates, and I think what's happened is like I said the last time there was a pause to see what effect the last interest rate hike had on the economy, and we're actually starting to see some pieces of the economy slow down. But there's still some segments that are just red hot, and so all the chatter is about what is the Fed going to do next week. And as we know, the Fed interest rates only affect the mortgage market indirectly by driving bond prices one way or the other. And what's going to happen is, the chatter was it was going to be between a 50 and a 75 basis point rate hike. But now there's like a 60% likelihood that it's going to be 100 basis point, which is the biggest move that I think I've ever personally seen in one session. So the bond market is kind of holding its collective breath, saying, "Okay, let's see what happens when this happens." And it's, I think last time we met, I predicted that's what was going to happen. We're going to have one more big rate hike. The Fed's going to pause, trade sideways, and see what happens. The groups that I'm a part of, and some of them include some really big economists, are saying that if we get a 100 basis point rate hike, the likelihood of a recession is about 45%. So, as is typical, the Fed's going to overshoot. That's the likelihood. And so my feeling is, and most of the people that I talk to, the feeling is that we are going to have this one last rate hike, trade sideways. The Fed may have one more tiny rate hike built in somewhere, and then we'll start seeing the recession kick in and rates will go down. So I would say we're going to be on the mortgage side in the high fives, low sixes, and that's about as high as it's going to get. And then we'll trade sideways for a while, probably several months, before we start seeing it go down mid next year. So that's my thing. I'm pretty firm on that. Personally, and all the economists that I talk to, and I've got like, I don't know, 10 different guys that I've done business with over the years. So it's this pretty likely we're going to get 100 basis points, trade sideways, rates are going up a little bit, and then we'll see them flatten out for a number of months and go down. On the product front, we lost the product. We had the physician's loan, but the company that was buying those and securitizing them went out of business. So that particular product is off the board for now. We're looking for another investor because it's such an awesome product. I did 4 of them while we still had it, but it's gone now. No new product to talk about, but I'm doing a whole lot of this Freddie Mac Borrow Smart and getting down payment assistance. I was sure those mine here. I'm doing a lot of this Borrow Smart. And all it is you just have to make less than $94,000 a year, and you can get up to $2,500 for down payment assistance or closing costs. I've probably closed 6 or 7 of these since it came out about 6 or 7 weeks ago. So this is a great little product, and the rates are good. PMI is low. I always try and fit people into that one. No other real guidelines other than limitations other than the max income is $94,240 in most counties. That's about it. Oh, I want to talk about one thing. Nick referred somebody to me who had a deal going sideways. It was a $500,000 investor purchase with his broker in North Dakota, and the property's in Minnesota. Well, the loan officer who was handling this thing is a complete rookie, and she just put this thing together in such a spaghetti mess of a way that it got turned down. It got to a point where it was the day before closing, and the investor said, "We're done. We're not closing this." Well, Nick got me involved, and over the course of 2 or 3 days, I coached this loan officer through how to fix this thing, and it ultimately got the clear to close yesterday.
With the other loan officer.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, wild.
My point here is there are a lot of loan officers out there that are. You really have to know how to package and present a loan.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular instance, it was kind of complicated, and if it had been done right the first time, it would have been super easy to do. She simply had no idea what she was doing. She'd been in the business for 2.5 years. Super nice girl, but she was an amateur. This was a complicated file that needed somebody's eyes on it who has closed a few thousand loans, and that's me. So
Yep.
if you're thinking about, I can't stress enough, your paycheck depends on your loan officer. It really does. And if you're not working with somebody like me, you're really risking your paycheck. So anyway, That's just
Well,
a little horror story.
We talked about that on our leadership meeting. I had that happen I'm on the list side, and they just didn't get the package put together in time, and it wasn't a rush deal, and the title company wouldn't close it on the purchase side, so we're all sitting there waiting.
Yep.
So I get it.
We were on the list side too, Carson. So
Oh,
he was
gotcha.
counseling the whole other side of the deal.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I got involved with both the listing agent, which is Mark, and then the seller's agent, who was Shelley, and it was a team effort, and I ultimately ended up coaching her through this thing. So
Thanks, Tom.
Don't
Thanks
use
a lot,
rookies.
though.
Yep.
Yeah.
And thanks for sending it to me. It was actually, what's funny is I didn't make $1 out of it, but that's fine. But I enjoyed the process of getting this thing done, because I really like to, I like to beat up underwriters for one thing. So people that think they know what they're doing and they don't, it's my specialty to drive that loan through the process, because I've seen everything. There's not much in this business I have not seen or done. And so when I come across a roadblock, I know how to go around it. In this case, all the roadblocks that were put in front of us could have been avoided really easily up front if she knew what she was doing, if it had been packaged correctly. So anyway.
Yep. Someone needed some mentorship, just like our business. We rely on our mentors to help us get things right the first time, because it can really get sticky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this thing was a tangled mess. I mean, it ultimately ended up, because there were so many inconsistencies that were provided by this loan officer, it ended up in their fraud investigative unit. So they thought there was, because she was, literally this group, I don't want to go any further than that, but it was not good. So, but we figured it out, and I got her through it. And the moral of the story is, let me see your loans. Let me work with your buyers. I'll take care of my promise.
Sounds good.
There's that.
Sounds good. Well, we appreciate everything you do, Tom.
I appreciate you guys sending me your business. We're having a good month. So,
well, and steady and no change right now is kind of unusual.
Mm-hmm. Till next week.
Yeah. Till next week.
Exactly. What's that?
Well, a week to week without much change right now is unusual.
Oh yeah, it was 2 weeks. I mean, we virtually went sideways. Yeah. So yeah. But I promise you, next week's going to be really interesting. I can see one of those days where we get rate changes throughout the day. I'll bet you. So the Fed's meeting on the 27th. They'll come out with their notes on the 28th, and they'll make the change typically on the 29th. I can see one or two of those days where we'll get 5, 6, 7, 8 rate changes in the same day, because the bond market's trying to say, okay, well, let's get ahead of it here and then here and then here and then. I mean, it'll be nuts. So it'd be better to get your deals locked in the next 4 or 5 days before the Fed does their thing. So that's my last piece of advice.
Thanks for the great info, Tom.
All right, y'all have a great day.